episode of Heard and Seen Around. I am Rajesh Karipurath. This is my take on macroeconomic and geoeconomic data points, which I find interesting. I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed curating it. Cheers.
My email signature should just say, sent while pretending to be busy. Hybrid work, because if you're going to be unproductive, you might as well do it from home. Hard work is rewarding. Taking credit for other people's hard work is rewarding and faster. Deadline, a mystical force that transforms creative flow into mild panic approximately 11 minutes before submission. Motivation, a rare, endangered psychological phenomenon that appears briefly around 9 a.m. on January 2nd.
Forget iPhones or Hollywood. Uncle Sam's biggest export is cash itself. Since the 1990s, US dollar banknotes have been quietly emigrating, finding new homes in wallets, safes, and perhaps a few secret drawers worldwide. Today, nearly half of all US currency is held abroad, and that's over $1 trillion sunbathing outside America. Crisis seems to make the US dollar even more attractive. Whether it's the 2008 meltdown or COVID-19, global demand for green paper spikes faster than a Wall Street trader on cocaine. China isn't just making robots, it's deploying an army of them. Last year alone, 295,000 industrial robots joined the workforce in China. The US, only 34,000, and Germany, only 27,000. The UK, a modest 2,500, barely enough to run a small tea factory. But here's the twist. This isn't about cheap labor anymore. It's about no labor. Factories so automated they run in the dark, literally. China now has 567 robots for every 10,000 manufacturing workers, leaving the West blinking at the lights, or lack thereof. The game has changed, and China is not just competing on cost anymore. It's competing on capability. If you ever needed a reminder to stay diversified, here it is, loud and clear. Stocks that once ruled Dalal Street are now barely worth a samosa and a chai. Reliance Communications minus 99.8%, Vodafone Idea minus 96%, MTNL, Yes Bank, Brightcom, all the same story. The lessons? Valuation matters. Even great companies can destroy wealth if you buy them too expensive. But if you buy cheap, your downside stays limited, even when the market gods get moody. In investing, it's not just about spotting winners, it's also about surviving the losers. All the gold ever mined in human history adds up to 216,000 tons. Sounds quite huge, right? But melt it down and it would fit into a single 22-meter cube about the size of a mid-sized apartment block. Almost half of that gold sits quietly as jewelry, another chunk is locked up by central banks, and the rest, well, scattered between bars, coins, and billionaires' yachts. And still there's some underground, over 180,000 tons waiting to be mined. So next time you see someone flaunting gold, remember, humanity's entire stash could fit into one big building. Here's a global leaderboard that will make you check your savings account twice. The US leads the pack with a whopping $23.8 million millionaires. That's almost one for every 14 Americans. China follows with 6.3 million, and France sneaks into third with 2.9 million, proving that croissants and capitalism can coexist. Japan and Germany round out the top 5, while India ranks 14th with $917,000 millionaires. If you are part of India's salaried class, brace yourself. You are basically the government's favorite ATM. In the last decade, income tax collections have skyrocketed, even outpacing corporate tax. And here's a kicker. The number of taxpayers hasn't grown much. Meanwhile, corporate tax was cut from 30% to 22%, even 15% for new firms, while salaried folks got a 25,000 increase in standard deduction. That's a grand saving of 7,500 rupees a year if you are on the top slab. Try not to spend it all at once. HRA gone, LTA gone, home loan interest deduction gone. Most Section 80 perks gone, unless it's NPS, which you can't touch till retirement anyways. Ever wondered which Indian states are really putting their money to work? At the top of the charts, Delhi, where 20.7% of the people invest. Not surprising, traffic jams give you plenty of time to check your portfolio. Next up, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, yes, even the paradise has investors, with 17.1% jumping into markets. Then comes Maharashtra, Goa and Pondicherry, proving that coastal vibes and capital gains go hand in hand. But on the flip side, Nagaland, Himalaya and Uttarakhand are at the bottom with less than 5% participation. From building ships to flying jets, India's defense giants are in full throttle mode. At the top of the radar, Hindustan Aeronautics with a market cap of 3,17,000 crores, the wings behind India's fighter fleet. Close behind, Bharat Electronics is at 2.95 lakh crores, powering the tech and radar systems that keep enemies guessing. Then there's Bharat Dynamics, the missile specialist, followed by Garden Reach shipbuilders, making waves with naval ships, and Data Patterns, the brains behind electronics and avionics, small but mighty. Together, these five companies are not just arming India's forces, they're also fueling one of the hottest investment themes in the market. India's energy story is pure electric. In just 20 years, power generation has more than doubled, making India the world's third largest power producer, right behind China and the US. Back in 2002, less than half the households had electricity. Today, 96% of all homes are lit up, and per capita use of power has jumped 70-fold since 1950. But here's the real shocker. Green power is leading the charge. Over 40% of India's capacity now comes from renewables, while globally renewables have overtaken coal for the first time ever.